All right, I thought I'd film a little clip about where I'm going to put my outside air temperature probe. My plan is to put it right in here. And I did make a cutout down here for my pitot-static system, and I have a cover I made. So this is going to rest, put a hole in here, maybe outside that cover here. So anyway, that cover is going to go something like that. And then I got to connect the outside air temperature wires. There's one going to the instrument, and then the other one going to ground. I thought I'd test out these little connectors. Came with my fuel flow, that little red cube. There's patent pending on these, but you can kind of see how they work. Wire goes on each side, and then you got two set screws down into the wire. Again, something like outside air temperature, non-critical, so we'll try them, see if they work. Have to get behind the panel to get my ground wire onto my grounding block for my outside air temperature. I didn't really plan this out too well. My EIS and the Sport I could actually disconnect and have all kinds of freedom, but this little guy right here, little light, and then some other switches over here for the autopilot, doesn't really disconnect easily. So had to use this piece of string and just fabricate this so I'm not pulling on these wires here. So just getting the wire connected for the ground, and yeah, we'll finish this up. Well, I got all the wiring done for the outside air temperature monitor. I still don't have the probe mounted into the little fairing, fiberglass fairing I made, but I got kind of sidetracked a little bit. And what I ended up doing is I have two GPSs that came with my Grand Rapids units, and I just kind of had them coiled up in here. So I ended up putting a hole on the top of the glare shield and then routing both those GPS units. One of them's going to go to the Sport EFIS, and the other one's going to go to my SafeFly 2020 GPS compliant for the ADS-B out, and that'll hook up to my, that'll be the GPS used to the transponder. All right, finished up the outside air temperature. I just didn't get it mounted, but the wiring's done with it, along with stowing up my GPS units. So now, well, I have all the wires out here for my trim, elevator trim servo. I decided to start wiring that. The first thing I'm doing is they're all 24 gauge wires on the indicator. I'm not sure how well you can see that. There's a trim indicator for the elevator and then the trim up and down switch. And they both require 12 volt power. I'm going to head and join these two 24 gauge wires to a Molex connection. And I got another female end over here, and I have the male end, just a blank wire. I'll put into these little, this little Molex connection here. I'll put a positive on one side, then the negative ground. I'm going to join the two negatives on this, run to one wire, and then negative to my grounding block. So joining those together via the little Molex connections. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I have already here. Coming off this great cable, we got 3 wires, and these 3 wires are connected to the trim indicator. The green off the gray goes to the green, the blue off the indicator goes to the red, and then the orange off the indicator goes to the brown cable, and that's through the gray cable here. Again, these colors changed once we moved from the servo wires to this gray cable. The colors had changed a little bit. That's why there's a difference in colors. On the switch itself, you have a gray and a white cable coming off of that. The gray that was once on the servo arm changed colors to black, but these will get switched back and forth depending on how you want your trim to go up or down. I can take these off, reverse them, and I'll reverse what this switch will do, whether it goes up or trim down. So these I'm going to play with before I put my heat shrink on this, just to see, make sure I got the right direction. All right, I think we're almost done with the electrical. I have all my connections done on my trim. We're going to turn it on and see if it works. And this is for the elevator trim. We'll see if the indicator light comes on and what direction we have on this guy. All right, so the area of interest will be right in here. We'll see if these guys come on. Let's see, turn when my battery's on. It is connected to my master fuse box here. So, all right, there we go. We got some lights. And see if I can hear the trim tab working here. Yep, I go up. These lights go up. Hopefully this goes down. If this goes down, Yes, it does. When I'm pushing up, that should give me aircraft nose down, which in turn will give the trim up. So I go up with this, the trim should go up, which give me nose down on the airplane, and vice versa going down. All right, so let's see what we have here. I'm at the cockpit of the airplane here. I'm gonna push on the toggle. I'm gonna push the up, which should bring that trim tab in the up position. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. And looking back, it looks like it's going up. Perfect. Then we'll go down. And as that goes down, awesome. I think it works. Well, that worked out great. This seems to work just fine. And I think I'm done with all my wiring at this point. I mean, I'll have to tie up a few loose ends here, but everything's wired up and seems to be working as of now. But we'll get that buttoned up, and next thing will be the pitot static system. We'll get that connected, and I'll start putting my panel back together.